how should I pace myself? I'm new to EDC and I want everything.
Don't we all?
And the best.
There should be something we call people who are beginners of a hobby and then they just immediately buy the most expensive thing. Buy hard.
Buy hard. Yes. And they said, I wanted an EDC I could use, but could look good too. Good thing my brass mini comb helps my handlebar mustache look as good as my EDC. Wish they attached a photo of that because I'm sure it's magnificent. Do you prefer EDC that pops and gets noticed, or more concealed and not noticeable?
I'm subscribed now to objects that are, if you know, you know. I'm in that kind of tier of mindset of a very, very
the annoying tier. No. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Carry the Way, the weekly podcast where we nerd out about all things EDC gear and maybe try to teach you a thing or two while we're at it. I'm Bernard, the founder of everydaycarry.com, and I'm joined by our editor, Mikey.
Hello.
So if you're new to the show, welcome. Here we talk about the latest in EDC gear, answer questions from the community, and review pocket dump submissions from our viewers. And if you've listened before, we just want to thank you so much for the support. Also, a quick reminder to give a thumbs up, to like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel, and we just past 500 subs. We're trying to get to 1,000. Then I start giving away gear. So help me help you.
Share with a friend.
But, yeah. Speaking of sharing with friends, Mikey, why don't you share what's in your pockets today?
I only have a couple of new things. I'm trying out some new knives that arrived, but I have one favorite that's gonna tie into the news later. So I'm just gonna show it real quickly.
Reverse? Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna Uno reverse
back
you.
On me.
Oh
okay,
yeah, I'm gonna flip it back on you. Yeah, go first.
Okay, I'll go first. I am also testing some new knives, and it is to answer a question later. So for the longest, I think I teased it before. Of course, I don't have it on me, but the Ridge Everyday Folder, that knife I was using and enjoying, but I'm kind of tired of carrying the same knife for like 2 months straight. So I'm gonna try something else. This one should come out a week from this episode coming out, and it will answer one of the questions later.
All right.
But it is fire. Oh, I mean, I think it's fire. This is the Benchmade Mini Narrows.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start that off with an uh-oh because of the polarity that this knife has been causing, but I think it's sick.
This particular knife, the small one, or just the narrows?
Just the narrows in general.
Okay, well, disclaimer: Benchmade sent this to me for free, so I didn't pay for this. So you can't insult my intelligence for paying however much this costs. Okay,
but we think it's sick.
I do think it's sick.
Yeah.
I will get into I'll probably do like some short form like with my thoughts on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is just a really nice thing to have in the pocket. And I have a similar knife that I will use to answer a question later in the show. And then the other thing that's new is I got these 15 millimeter titanium mala beads from Around Square. I just got them today.
The Akuma beads you've been talking about.
Yeah, the Akuma beads. I'm just going to try using this for focus breathwork sort of stuff.
That's how I use them. Just like calming myself down, just nonstop bead counting. Yeah, it's been really, really helpful, actually.
That's good to know because these are expensive. I did get a discount disclaimer because we had him on the show and like he's hooked us up a little bit. One of my favorite interviews ever. So check that episode out. And then I also have like this smaller version that you can flip like a Bagleri. I'm not going to do any of that. I just wanted to test it out. And right now I'm wearing it just like above the elbow. So I'm not hitting the desk over and over.
You got to contain the biceps just to not, unleash the full power level.
Perma pump. Yeah. No. So that's the only new stuff I'm rocking. But
okay, you can Uno reverse
interesting. And titanium.
You can Uno,
so there we go.
You can Uno reverse it back to me because we can jump right into the first bit of news.
Let's hear
so, do you remember DPX?
Yeah.
The knife company. I have a really long history of wanting their knives. I think going back to around 2013, 2014. This was around the time when everybody was kind of overbuilding their knives. And this was the time of the peak Strider, the peak Medford, the peak... what was the third one?
Emerson?
Who else were there was a third one? Strider, Emerson, DPX. Who was the other one from that wasn't Strider? Hinderer. There you go.
Okay.
Everybody
Sorry
was
that took
making.
me so long. Yeah.
I know, sorry, but they were doing these really chunky G10 plus metal uh, sh- lock side frame locks with super thick blades.
Yeah.
And DPX has been around like forever. I've been wanting some of their knives forever. They sent me one, their newest one, and I love it. It's probably my new favorite knife. This is the DPX. You can actually pull up the news if you want, but I have it in
Yeah.
hand. The DPX Hest slash F 4.0. So this is the fourth version of their Hest, which is I think their signature knife. And this one is mil spec, which means it comes in G10 and Magna Cut. Hooray,
Magna
more Magna
Cut.
Cut.
Hooray. Yeah.
And it comes in a flipper configuration, which they don't do very often. I've always known them for having these really chunky thumb studs. And the iconic bits of DPX, it's they always I really like they always come out in this drop point shape with the it looks like an Emerson wave opener, but it's their own take on it. It's an actual bottle opener, but it can also snag onto your pants. It's has just enough of an angle on the back end of the hook to hook
Yeah.
into
Let me check
whatever
it out.
fabric for a quick opening. Their jimping is also pretty unique. It's 3 levels of wire strippers that they've turned into jimping, which is pretty nice. It's nice and like very very grippy. And this Hest is a flipper, which is very very nice for the really really chunky blade stock. This is 0.19th of an inch blade stock, really really thick, really really snappy. I believe it's on bearings, frame lock. It's not a lefty total lefty since it's a frame lock,
It's
but
frame lock. Yeah.
the clip is flippable, and it comes with a titanium breaker in the end, and they also give a replacement if you don't want the breaker. It's just a flat screw. So this is the latest
Oh,
and greatest
nice.
from DPX. They wanted me to show it off. I've wanted a DPX knife forever, and I distinctly remember during that time around 2014 they were one of the few production knives that were making actual lefty frame locks that were to this standard. So I was those are the ones I really wanted. So I don't think they've made a lefty in quite a bit of time. I checked their recent products and they haven't made a lefty in a while. But ever since then, I've always liked the aesthetic. It really speaks to me. Get a good full hand grip with the
Oh,
flipper
yeah.
tab acting as the finger guard at the end. Nice. I forgot the name of the technical name for the pommel that wraps around the finger here at the end. So you get a
I
full
was just
grip.
gonna say pommel, but maybe somebody can comment what it is.
It started with a Q. Quino, Quilon, Quilon. There you go. Quillon. Quilon.
Sounds made up. It sounds like you just made that up right now.
Yeah, could have. But anyway, yeah, this is new from DPX, Magna Cut, super sick. Appreciate DPX for letting me test it out. And that's the first bit of news. I think it's a pretty exciting knife, something I wanted for a really long time
Very
from this
cool.
company. And yeah,
Yeah.
more Magna Cut goodness in 2024. Keep it coming, I
Shout
think.
outs to DPX. I think I
Yeah.
reviewed their like Aculus 3D a long time ago,
Wow,
maybe 10
that
years
sounds
ago
made
or
up.
something. Yeah, no, it was for our friends at Carryology too, and I contributed over there.
Oh,
So
nice.
that
Okay.
yeah, I think one thing to point out too, this seems to be produced by Line Steel, right?
Yeah, out of Italy. That's right.
Yeah, and
You can
they
see
make
in
some
the in you can't
nice
probably
knives.
see it, but inside the backspacer, you can see that it's
Mhm.
line steel, made in Italy. That white
Sick.
texture on the inside. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty sick.
So what's your favorite feature?
I think I'm loving flippers again. I love the fact that the flipper turns into the front finger guard, and that just gives
Yeah.
a perfect grip for me. I am on the hunt for a particular fixed blade that has this exact same thing where it's a full hand grip and it's guarded on the front and on the back for like
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah.
the absolute
Just
perfect
like melts in
safety.
there.
Yeah, just
Hmm.
full tactical grip and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably my favorite feature. I'm falling in love with flippers again after my stint of learning how to spidey flick and all of that and
A reverse flick and
wanting
stuff.
yeah and reverse flicking and everything.
Still
So
my
yeah,
favorite. Yeah.
yeah. Still my
Cool.
favorite, but I'm coming around and just, like we said in the last episode, just enjoying the experience, just letting the product speak to me, coming to me on their own
Okay.
terms and
Okay,
telling me
sure.
what they're about and enjoying it. So yeah. I'm the crazy
Nice.
person talking to the gear, that's right.
I don't have too much to add to this. I think you covered it really well, and I appreciate your enthusiasm and passion about this product. So we can jump into the
Yeah.
next one.
Sure.
But you can tell Mikey picked this week's news because the next one is just also tactical.
Woo! Yeah. This is kind of, we're a bit on theme at the moment. It's a bunch of legacy brands in this week's news. So we have DPX. Luminox has been around for a long time, just quietly producing, would you say, accessible tritium watches? Quote unquote accessible.
I'm not gonna say if that's accessible or not, but they are tritium watches.
Yeah. Who else is making like mainstream tritium stuff?
Marathon,
the only one I can
Ball.
Just those three, right? Luminox.
Those are the
that off the top of your head.
Off the top of my head, but I'm not like a tritium guy. So yeah. We said Marathon and okay, true. So Luminox, Marathon. Oh, Tracer.
Ooh, haven't heard that in a while. Yeah, we last featured Tracer maybe 2017, 2016,
something like that.
The H3. Yeah, I remember that was a really sick watch as well. Yeah, but Luminox pretty known for this particular look of the tactical watch that they've been making for the Navy SEALs forever. It comes in that's very specific tritium pattern, good for 25 years. Some people are saying that they don't want to invest in a watch for 25 years. That's a long time. I think that's a long time.
Yeah.
And that 25 years is the half-life. That's not even
the 25 years and the half-life of the tritium.
Yeah. That's not even going to be full dead in 25 years. It's just going to be half as bright.
Half dead.
Yeah, half dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Or half alive, depending on your perspective.
Yeah. That's right. So this is one of their newest ones. Just another variation in the standard Navy SEAL. I believe this is the 3001 model. What's the product code?
This is 3250.
3250. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so the 3250 in the rounded style of. Yeah, so they have a bunch of commemoration stuff that they've been cooking the past few months. The last one, they did a 35th anniversary across a few of their signature models. So this is the one that came right after that. So it's relatively new. But for people still looking for, like I said earlier, accessible, quote unquote, accessible tritium watches, if you haven't seen what a tritium watch is, it's not as bright, it's not as eye-searing as a fully charged lume paint would look like, but in the dark it's absolutely perfect for night vision. If you step into it,
you don't have to charge it with an external light source like you would with lume paint.
Exactly.
That's the whole point. So it can stay glowing.
It's not impressive if you're in daylight or if you're in a bright room, but the second you step into the dark, it activates, and it's perfect for even if you're like no night vision at all. It perfectly has enough light just to see exactly what time it is with the way that Luminox has the tritium set up.
Right.
So yeah. So you have a choice of three very expensive watches, but accessible in terms of they're available. Accessible in terms of available. Yeah.
But I would. Yeah, so the $725 price tag, like, what do you even get there? So this is what, 45 mil stainless steel, it's got tritium, date complication, Swiss made. I think that's important. Quartz movement, though, some people may or may not like that. I do think a lot of people watching this who are EDCers they optimize for convenience and performance and accuracy. They will vibe with the quartz movement.
I like quartz. The quartz hate needs to stop, I think.
I agree. I think we'll defend quartz every time. But only 1/5, 20% of my collection is quartz. The rest are automatic.
Okay.
Or some combination of that.
I have about 25% automatic, I believe. Mostly quartz. Because half of them are chronos. So automatic chronos are very expensive and I think very impractical. But that's a whole other story.
There are some things I do like about this. I like the use of this gold tone here with the blue and the black, this like shadow blue with the gold. Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Midnight blue, yeah. Not a very common
this
combination.
This just looks really good, yeah. So interesting, like I wonder, I could see it going with like a blue suit or something, but it's not really like a dress watch. So maybe if you're like a James Bond, yeah.
Probably farthest from a... Yeah, this is the Luminox watches I have are the first tritium watches I've owned because I don't have the money to spend $4,000 on a ball watch or 1,500 for a GSAR marathon. So this is as accessible as it can get for me for tritium stuff.
That's true, around like half the price.
Yeah,
cost of entry.
But it's, I mean, total Mikey aesthetic. I think Mikey watch.
Yeah, this I think is particularly sick because you see the difference in materials and finish, right? So you see, look at all the angularity, and then you see the brush pattern and those different directions, and then you see what is this bezel made of?
I believe it's Carbonox. Their branded version.
Blue glass fiber compound.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then the rubber strap. So it's just like different textures and colors and shapes and finishing. I think.
Yeah, you're right. A midnight blue and
my
black
favorite look at it
is a really unusual combination and works really well here. And nice choice of gold accents versus versus pure white.
So I was going to say this reminds me of Batman, but that nickname is reserved for a different watch.
I know.
All right. So pretty cool. I think if people want a tactical watch and they're cool with quartz and they want to check out tritium and that technology as far as illumination in the dark, then Luminox is the way to go.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's jump into the next one. And you can talk about this.
Yeah.
Because it just landed on my desk this morning or something.
Yeah, today or yesterday before recording this. But this is the fourth version of Nitecore's knife wedge / rectangle style of flashlight. And this is the Nitecore EDC29. I believe it just launched in Asia, and it's coming early September to the US and all markets. And the cool thing about this, from what Nitecore has told me, it is superlatively double of everything. It's double in power. It's, I believe, it's more capacity. It looks pretty sick. It looks like an armored up.
It does look pretty sick.
It looks like an armored up version of the 27. It looks like it put on some Batman.
It also looks
armor.
Like Batman.
There we go. I told you.
This whole thing is like Batman themed.
Yeah, and I believe the main bullet points of this version. So it is the best version so far of the four. It still has the OLED screen. It has the 2-button mode system at the top. It now has 6,500 lumens of output, which I believe is double the EDC27 high, which is the last one that came out.
Oh, 6,500. Yeah.
I believe that last one was 3,200. And new to this model, I know, is a physical lockout on the right side.
So that's the first thing I did intuitively. Like I tried to turn it on, and then it says full lock, and then I can already feel there's like this switch where my thumb is. I was like, oh, cool. And then I press that, and then it turns on.
The Nitecore has been using the electronic lock version for a long time, for the past year, in their OLED models. It's a little bit cumbersome to unlock. And it's not as intuitive and it's not as intuitive to actually lock. You can forget it. And for anything above 2,000 lumens, that will actually burn a hole in your pocket if you forget to lock out. So I like that they took the idea from the recent, I believe it's the 33 and the 35 that had an actual physical lockout slider, and now they put it in the 29. And I think it's best place to put it. I think it's very intuitive. It's where your thumb is.
Very intuitive.
If you hold it in ice pick grip, where you would have access to both buttons, that's exactly where the lock is. On the bottom would be on the bottom as well. So I think perfect.
I was testing out the left-hand operation for you, Mikey, just because I'm a good guy like that. And you could do it with your index or your thumb, depending if you're holding it left-handed ice pick grip.
Ice pick grip. Yeah. So I don't believe I have a price for this yet. Let me double check.
I'm noticing there's just a lot of gripped areas here. I wonder
in the up armored areas.
Yeah. It's like this chunky knurling in this kind of diamond pattern.
Yeah.
But then also just in the main body of it, the Batman armor, these kind of like gills, I think also add some grip. But only it's like unidirectional. Sorry. I don't know what that motion was. It's sort of a unidirectional kind of pattern because they look like gills. So it won't slip down, but it maybe could slip up.
I see. I see what you mean.
That's a weird edge case. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did I just scratch it? I may have just scratched it.
Awesome. Yeah, I checked one of the retailers. It looks like it's going to be for 109.95 for the price. And compared to the EDC27 that came before it, that is about $30 more. It was $90 previously. So, yeah. So there are some
But,
decent
a lot of
upgrades in this.
upgrades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention,
So
yeah,
cool.
double the output. It's got that lumen shield function where it's what they call their instant turbo. Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
And physical lockout, which is always welcome. I love physical lockout. And yeah.
Sorry, I just tried the lumen shield.
6,500 lumens is the joke. Oh wow, okay. Yeah.
I should have done that. Okay, yes. Well,
yes.
Very cool. Exciting stuff from Nitecore. Maybe
Yeah.
if you guys want, we can do a little breakdown video of all the different candy bar rectangle Nitecore lights in the EDC series.
I have a couple of them coming as well. So just different random. Everybody's doing the Arkfeld. I don't know who. Do you remember who was first? Who started doing the candy bar with
rectangle?
The rectangle? Because there's a bunch now.
Surelight. I wanted to say Surelight.
Surefire?
Or yeah, Surefire. I combined Surefire and Streamlight in my head. Surefire. Yeah.
Yeah. The very earliest prototype of the, what was the Surefire one?
Stiletto.
There you go. That may have been the first, and then OLED Arkfeld made it really popular. Rovivon has theirs. Nitecore is now in the 4th generation. JetBeam has one coming out. Trustfire has one. I have one that arrived from Trustfire. Everybody's doing it. So it's, your prediction of the future is square for flashlights is coming true. We are in the era of rectangles. So
sorry, I'm still holding this, and I'm just like, this is intimidating to me, just the EDC. So maybe for me, just because I don't carry big flashlights, I think this is like the same size, but because of the armor, it feels like
substantial,
bigger. I don't know. Yeah.
Does it feel heavier because it's stainless steel now? I don't even know if that's
what it is.
I don't even know if it's confirmed that it's stainless steel, but in the info they gave me, they said it's stainless steel. Maybe the armor is stainless steel and the rest of it is aluminum. I don't know.
I can't see any marking that would say what it's made of on here.
Yeah, maybe worth a comparison. We'll take a look.
It's a tank. It's pretty bomb-proof from my initial impressions.
Yeah.
So cool. I think we have a lot more news of new products that came out in the past week or so. So check that out on everydaycarry.com. Mikey and the team put a great job putting together all those new releases as soon as we can for you guys. So make sure you bookmark that. Check it every day, please. So yeah, thanks for tuning in for the news, and thanks for putting this together for us, Mikey. Let's jump into a bonus segment where a couple weeks ago, we talked about the Big Eye Design everyday cards featuring yours truly on there. And I said I would give away this pack and sign it. So, or give you the option to. So let's pick out of everyone that commented on that episode and choose
Reveal the wheel. There we go.
So here's the wheel. We'll click to spin. I think we have 12 people who entered. So thank you so much for commenting there.
Yeah.
And then
I'm loving the comments lately. We are getting some really great comments on the podcast. Thank you.
And it's going to Jerry Wofford 242.
Congratulations. Woo!
So congratulations to Jerry. Thanks everyone else for watching and participating and your interest in getting a signed card and deck from me. Let me know, Jerry, if you want me to sign it or not. And then you can send us an email at podcast@everydaycarry.com and we'll get you sorted. So,
yes. And if you could share us to 500 more friends, we'll do this over and over until Bernard runs out of stuff.
So many people watch the podcast, but they're not subscribed.
Imagine that.
I know. What's up with that? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's jump into more content from our community. These are the questions for the week. And every week on Mondays, we post on our Instagram stories, just like, hey, what do you want us to talk about? And I appreciate a lot of you regular askers. And we had so many that I think it was the previous episode or a couple episodes ago, we had to do a full Q&A episode.
And it's still lasted
so many good questions.
Almost 2 hours for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's jump into these. I think.
You mentioned earlier that you were going to answer a question with
Oh
something.
yes, that's
Let's
true.
start with that
So
one. Yeah.
Dad Guy Carl asks favorite slim pocket knife,
Ooh.
and I don't know if I thought of my answer as far as like my personal favorite or what I would recommend to people, and then also like what is slim? What does that even mean, right?
Yeah.
So I did unbox the Vosteed Parallel, which is I
Yes.
think 7 millimeters or 8 millimeters thin.
If I'm not
However,
mistaken, it is slimmer than even the Narrows. I double at least the main one, not the. I haven't checked the mini yet,
okay,
but I
I pulled
measured.
out the calipers on both of them, and I think it was a 0.01 or 0.1 millimeter difference.
Mm,
And it kind of varies because the Narrows, which for right now I will say is my favorite slim pocket knife,
mm.
is sort of pocketed out on the outside of the scale, so that point can get
Okay.
even thinner.
Right,
So
right,
I don't
right.
know if you can see, but it is
Yeah,
like
because
a little bit thinner.
it's a solid
Yeah,
scale on the parallel. You're right. You're right.
right. But my calipers are flat, so I can't like pinch this part in particular. So
Right.
and it doesn't effectively. It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah. I mean,
It
there's not much
yeah.
else to. There's
You can
nowhere else to go,
I can't physically perceive that difference of whatever it is.
and still have it be like a locking blade, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did unbox the Vosteed Parallel and I tried it. I didn't love the action,
Yes.
and the the crossbar lock on it, it as soon as you start to swing it open, it wants to close again. So sometimes it
Mm.
will feel like a two-stop deployment. And I think Melissa Backwoods also had that issue, but
Everybody's been having that issue.
okay, yeah,
It's been brought
she
up
like
in the
opened
community.
it
Yeah.
up to change the spring inside,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm not gonna open that up
I
because
know.
I
Yeah.
like I have this one and it works pretty well. I just need to get used to thumb studs again. I haven't been there we go. I haven't been using thumb studs since reverse flicking.
It's something that's been brought up in the Vosi community. They know about
Mm-hmm.
it. The recommendation
Mm-hmm.
at the moment is to put it to the lightest setting for the Omega Spring, and then
Mm.
just break it in. But then it's not a great experience out of the
Yeah,
box. Being
because
fully
they
honest
don't
about
give
it,
you
the
like
tools
good
for it.
tools to do it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I had to pick up some more bits.
I think it's just growing pains. It's something nobody else is trying to be
True,
the
it's
thinnest
kind of
knife
hard. Yeah,
and still put a full axis lock or crossbar lock in the midst of
crossbar
it
lock.
and still have it be functional and have it still be a decent size. I think, yeah, it's going to be part of the growing pains of discovering, of exploring that type of knife. Um, Default answer would have been parallel, but I think my answer is gonna be the around square knife still. That's still one of the smallest and slimmest I have,
You think it's slim? I
short
guess
of these
so.
super slim ones. Yeah,
Proportionally, I also EDC that one. I
yeah,
really like it. I was about to say love it. I think I do love it,
yeah.
but proportionally, it is more like a block than a plank, if that makes sense.
But there
Just
is a
because
plank
it's so
also.
small, there it's shaped like a plank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but I think my other recommendation that's a lot cheaper than the Benchmade Mini Narrows or any of the Narrows
Mhm.
will be the SOG Ultra X. What is this
Ooh, I
called?
like that.
Sorry.
Ultra
I
XR.
thought Ultra XR. Yeah.
Ultra
Okay.
XR. Yeah.
This one is S35VN steel with a crossbar lock as well and a carbon fiber handle. Is it made? No, it's not made in the USA. But this is also really slim and you can like kind of use it as a money clip if you wanted. And the action is not like crazy or anything. I don't think I can flick it out because it's so thin, but it works reasonably well. I think this one's honestly pretty old and dry, and I haven't like played with it enough
Mhm.
lately. But this was a good this was a good XR or crossbar lock blade with a decent steel when SOG first started pushing for better knives.
Mhm.
And because it's a little bit older, you can probably find this in brick and mortar stores for cheaper these days.
Probably on
So,
Amazon still even in stock.
so hopefully that answers that question. I don't know if it was an actual like recommendation request or just out of curiosity what our tastes are.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna like a slim knife, I kind of want the one that is the superlative slimmest knife. Like if that's the one thing you're going for, then That's what I would want. So Kaiju _01 asks, wallet recommendations for cash carriers. People outside the US and Canada carry cash more than credit card emojis. Mm-hmm. I think that is true. I still carry cash and I just put it in the cash trap of my Ridge wallet. But for me, if kind of depends though, because cash can also include coins. So that might change my answer.
What's top of your head answer though?
In general, I would say Bellroy, because Bellroy is an international company, right? And they make different wallets for like passports and also different sized currencies, because that they're like not in the US or Canada. So Fair. They do have that pain point. So that's what I would say. I think Bellroy makes pretty good leather wallets.
I'm going to go with the billfold I've liked before I started switching to the Ridge type stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give a shout out to Pioneer Carry and their Division bifold, a billfold wallet. And what I really like about this, what I really like about Pioneer is we like our technical materials. They have their two materials that they use, which is 10XD and 3PN, I believe, which are very highly technical materials. Are waterproof. They look really sick. They look new even after they've been through the ringer, unless it's the seams and it's the stitching that's going to break down even before the material does. So it's a very nice technical material. And they have a bunch of other sizes as well. Division billfold is just their main model, but they also have more minimalist ones. They have a passport sized one. They have card holders, but I just like them for the technical fabrics that they use because they're really, really nice technical fabrics. So if that's your thing, if you're looking for something a bit more bougie and a bit more on the technical side and waterproof and all of the stuff that we also enjoy, then worth a look. If you like the heritage stuff, Bellroy, perfect. Lots of great options there. And yeah, I think those are, you'll have your hands full. You'll have your lots of places to put your bills between those two brands, I think.
Right. It's I think a good pair of recommendations, because if you're the type that just wants
technical versus heritage
kind of exactly, a familiar material in leather that will patina and sort of mold to your cards and your body and stuff like that, then something from Bellroy is probably going to work for you. And then if you want to feel more cutting edge and futuristic and don't want that patina and just want something that will look like it's staying new, then go with Pioneer.
And Bellroy
there's plenty more out there.
And Bellroy has a whole collection of zip type wallets as well, which will help with the coins if that's a situation. Yeah.
Oh, true. I forgot to mention the coin stuff.
Yeah.
When I went to Japan, I just grabbed some random like pouch thing that you can just
like a souvenir type pouch.
Yeah, I don't know. And I just like dumped it in there because I really was not prepared for coins, to be honest.
Yeah. So. Even here, coins are out of control. I hate coins so much. Yeah. But yeah, lots of options there. Let us know if you find one from Bellroy or from Pioneer that you like, and let us know what you end up with.
Let's answer another one from a longtime regular, Francisco's _find. Do you prefer EDC that pops and gets noticed, or more concealed and not noticeable? I think this depends on what it is.
Example.
But generally, so for example, I don't think I want a knife that pops and gets noticed just because of the potential reaction to that.
Okay. Whereas, so you wouldn't want like a fully dressed up knife that's $7,000 off the table at Chacho. You don't want those kinds of knives.
No. Well, it depends. Like pops and gets noticed. Pops in what way? And gets noticed in what way? For what reasons? So
okay,
I think the safer side. Also, I would say even if I had this, like normal people, most people, if I had this clipped to my pocket, they're not gonna know what it is. So it's not gonna get noticed in that way. They might. This is probably one that is more concealed and not noticeable, despite it having the potential to be flexy, like we talked about on the last episode, right? So when I think of EDC that pops and gets noticed, it's like bright and big and maybe just
literally eye popping colors or size and okay.
So I don't know about you, but when I'm out and about and walking around around people here in LA, I'm pretty sure I'm the only person within line of sight that cares about EDC gear. Right. So That's why I don't think these things are getting noticed in that way.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm subscribed now to, for objects that are, if you know, you know. I'm in that kind of tier of mindset of a very, very
the annoying tier. No.
No, the if you, it doesn't have any bright markings or anything, but then if you take a look closer, I know you know your stuff. That kind of,
Okay.
that's kind of more my speed now.
Quiet luxury.
Quiet
I
luxury,
understand.
yeah.
Right.
You know how
With
it is,
your
Loro.
fixed screwdriver.
I know.
And
I'm gonna pop up here with a blank hat, and it's, felted wool and Loro piano and all of that. So yeah.
So I think, but it can change. Maybe not my answer, but maybe for other people as they think about a question like this.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, your watch. Some people, they buy watches specifically to get noticed because it serves some other social function. Say, for example, if you're, I was going to say a business owner, but at some
Are those
point I
people
was a
who buy
business
those,
owner.
those Cartier tanks? Nah, just kidding.
No. Yeah, so that I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that.
Yeah.
But hey, I haven't bought a Rolex from an AD, right? Because that has a certain message about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm starting. There's actually some. There was a comment before that said like, Bernard, just say what you want to say and don't filter so much. But I'm realizing now I'm kind of filtering a little bit. But yes, as far as like watches, especially luxury watches, those can have some sort of message that it conveys, usually about like status or wealth or power or something, especially in a professional setting. I don't think that that's very cool. I like to just get watches that I think look cool. And that tends to be the more understated ones that nobody cares about, kind of like Grand Seiko, which is cool because now I don't have to like insure my
The
watch
if you know, you
collection
know
if it's a
tier.
Grand Seiko versus Rolex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and this always goes back to the bottom line of the gear as an extension of your self-expression, right? It's always going to boil down to that. Do,
I
do
think
you
some aspect of it,
do you
maybe.
want it to pop out and get noticed? Is that something you actually prefer? Then you would gravitate towards stuff that is a bit more bombastic or a bit more expression, um, a bit more expressive. But yeah, I'm not really in the market to show off anything, but I want people in the know to probably, if they notice, they'll be like, yeah, you know your stuff. I think that's good enough for me, I think.
Yeah. Well, I know that you know your stuff. I do think that there is some aspect of or adjacent culture to EDC that we haven't mentioned here that is probably relevant. And that is like the gray man principle or concept, right?
Wait, you
Where
mean
you,
wearing all gray? Just kidding.
no.
I hate that.
No, like I think a great way to explain what gray man means, it's like if you imagine a fly on the wall, you're the wall. Like you're not even the fly, right? So it's like you're so out of sight and out of mind. And this I think comes from like the tactical realm. If you're like operating out in the wild and you don't want to be seen or noticed,
Yeah.
it's like you
Neutral
explicitly go out of the way to blend in and
and
not
look
draw
normal.
attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look normal. So there are some people that subscribe to this with their EDC, especially when it comes to concealed carry and stuff like that. They want to be as discreet as possible. You don't want things to imprint or pop out or be noticeable, that sort of thing. So I think there is some utility or value, or just at least there is a population of people that they don't want it to be noticed. And it's not in a self-expression kind of way. It's this is the function of my utility. So it doesn't always, that's what I'm trying to say. Like it doesn't always have to be expression or experience or some of the concepts that we tend to resonate with. There are people where like, no, this is part of the job and part of the thing that I needed to do, which is not be noticed. And that is a very important factor.
You don't want to panic people on the plane knowing that there's a US Marshal on every flight just protecting you in secret. They just want to be low key and everything. Yeah.
So interesting question. Our discussion went somewhere I wasn't planning for
it's
it
like,
to. So
it's like it's the title of the show that we take on.
Yes.
And then we're gonna get we're gonna get the usual. It's not that deep, guys.
It is not that deep, but we can make it that deep if we
and
want
we
to.
will every time.
with a question from Kaha Crosby. I'm guessing it's a H instead of a J. I don't know. They said, "How should I pace myself? I'm new to EDC and I want everything.
Oh, don't we all?
And the best."
Oh boy, just want to speed run
One,
all the way to the end.
I appreciate your awareness to know that you're new and you want everything and the best, because that is the first step in stopping that behavior.
Okay, I'm gonna bring up. There was this perfect meme that I saw that somebody sent me. There should be something we call people who are beginners of a hobby, and then they just immediately buy the most expensive thing. And you know what somebody commented to me as the perfect term for it?
What?
Buy hard.
Buy hard. Yes.
That's the title. I think that's the title of this episode. Are you a buy hard?
Are you a buy hard?
Yeah.
I don't know. That might get flagged for parental guidance. So.
I know. But oh boy, how do you pace yourself with a budget, I guess, which you don't follow?
No, but I think that's like a very practical answer, right? But I think in one of our earlier questions, it's actually a question that I posed to you, I think last episode or 2 episodes ago, where I said, do you optimize for experience or convenience? And then you said that the perfect experience doesn't exist. So here, in sort of in the same vein, what I would pose to Kaha Crosby is, you say you want everything and the best, but I would argue that you don't even know what the best is just from the sheer amount of options available. Then two, you probably don't know what is best for you because you haven't gone through enough, right? You haven't had enough of those experiences or tried enough of those products to really dial in that taste. So I would say it's much more likely for you to buy hard or accumulate a lot of stuff, as we all do, and then realize that, oh, the thing that I thought is actually not exactly what I wanted it to be. And then maybe that's a regretful purchase, versus if you took your time and you really focused in on the things that you currently have and what you do and don't like about it, and then use that to inform your next purchase, and not so much what you see on social media, what you're reading on social media and forums and stuff.
Yeah.
That's being recommended, whatever's new that lands in your inbox, and like whatever newsletter from a brand that you like, and really just understand what it is you like. I've been doing this for myself personally after being a buy hard when it comes to fountain pens. So I bought hard, buy harded, bought hard. I think I bought hard and I got an end game pen for many people. And I realized, like, oh, the thing that makes this end game for many people is not something that I like right away.
Yeah.
But then I went back to my old gear and tried it, and I said, now I can kind of tell the difference. And I realized it's more of just not so much an ultimate preference, but rather just what I'm used to, that's making it feel not good just because it's not what I'm used to. But then as I kept using it, I learned to appreciate the different experience of the new pen. And then there were also previous desires of wanting like the upgraded version of the pens that I already owned, or like a fancier version, or a different material body because I like the design of the body. But then I realized, like, going back from this new pen, then going back to the old pens, I don't actually like those things as much as the new pen offers. So now I don't feel as compelled to get the upgrade versions of that thing, or the different versions of the older gear. So it's really,
you're learning something from everything.
Yeah. So it's not just like buy something you like and then learn about that and then buy the next thing. But sometimes it's like also maybe, you buy the next thing, then go back and try the other thing and then compare those two experiences in a more fresh context after you've taken in and internalized the new experience or performance or whatever it is with this new product. And then just keep doing that. And I think that's better than keeping accumulating and getting the next thing.
It's also kind of a double-edged sword lately, where everything is available now. Everybody has probably a review or a video or a Reddit post about every piece of gear out there. It's just that there's so much noise that and the fact that everybody hates everything about EDC, about every piece of EDC gear. And
I'm aware. Yes.
Yeah. And it's what Bernard was saying, that it's really a journey everybody has to make. It's going to be an expensive one, especially if you are going to be trying everything in every aspect of EDC. Both Bernard and I have gone through this for knives, for pens, for audio, for tech, for literally everything, for every size of bag, for for fashion. Yep. And there's no way around it except through it, unfortunately. But the point there is to be actively paying attention to the experience of ownership and usability of whatever you get, and then learning from it to inform what you like and to inform the next thing you buy. And my only warning there is don't overboard and don't hoard. I think it's a bit unhealthy to start going into the collector mindset immediately and then just bankrupting yourself in the pursuit of collecting rather than experiencing more things in the meantime.
This always somehow becomes another like financial advice thing, and then we have to say this is not a financial advice podcast. Just please don't go like into crazy debt for EDC knives.
The irony there that just every week I say to people, don't go into debt buying EDC stuff, and here I am charging something to a credit card just today. Oh my god! Well, stop.
Yeah, maybe. But then again, not everybody has to jump onto a podcast each week and then they're asked, "What did you buy this week?" No, so maybe we should just kill that segment.
I know.
Just
let's
a
kill
no
pocket
buy,
check.
no buy month. Check. For the no pocket check for a little bit. But so I think though one other aspect to this, just to answer the question of how should I pace myself, at least slowly. Have the slowly for sure. But then at least have the awareness, and maybe we can just normalize that. I think for a lot of people, regardless, there will be this cycle of you see something, you have interest in something. So then there's this accumulation phase where you get things to learn what you like. And then you start using those things, and then you'll fall out of love with those things. And then you'll want to pare down because there's going to be sort of, I call it the burden of ownership. When you just have all the stuff, you have to maintain it. You don't even like these things as much because you've kind of identified the one that you like the most. Then you want to get rid of all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then hopefully by the end, or not hopefully, but usually by the end of that time frame, there's a whole bunch of other stuff, or maybe your day-to-day has changed, your tastes have changed, your needs have changed, and then you find yourself again in this exploration phase, and then you again enter into the accumulation phase, and then again you narrow things down to the thing that works for you, and then things change again, because we're saying like everything is going to change over time. So let's
especially
try to keep that in mind. Right. Yeah, exactly. So keep that in mind. If you want everything and the best, like you can't reasonably get all that at the same time and have it be true in that moment. So one last thing that I'm going to add to this, I think what I'll do is I'll just bore this guy to death. So he'll just like unsubscribe and not look at EDC stuff anymore. But one more thing that I would like to add to this is when you are new, you think you know what the best is, but you do not. Even me, I'm still learning what is better than other things because there are different use cases, different scenarios, different ways to have things be applied. I'm still learning even like what is the best for me in particular, like with my ergonomics or how I carry stuff, so people might say, oh, CPM Magnicut's better steel than this thing, but then maybe if for some reason I start picking up surfing, then maybe I want Van X Super Clean just for that extra, it's just like there's always something else to learn, and I think that
keep an open mind.
So
and one last,
don't think that you know what the best is when somebody tells you on the internet that is the best.
One slowdown trick I actually learned from you subconsciously. I leave stuff in cart for a week or so.
Oh no.
And then I wait until they email me with a discount code.
But if they don't email you with a discount code, then
I just forget about it. Always I think it's always good to slow down and sleep on something at least one night. If you're still thinking about something 3 months later, then it's probably worth getting.
You should probably get the thing.
You should probably get the thing if you can't stop thinking about it. But at least give it a few nights. Just sleep on it. Wait until they mail you with that discount code for leaving something in cart. And just take it slowly that way. I think. Yeah.
So
I love that trick, by the way. I learned that from you.
I call it edging at checkout, but I'm not sure if we're allowed to say that on air.
We'll mute that,
anyway, Kaha Crosby, welcome to the hobby. I'm glad you're enjoying things, but
good luck.
Take it from us. Do it slowly. You don't need to buy hard. And I think you'll find something that works well for you. So thank you everybody for submitting some questions. Again, if you have any other questions, you can wait for our Instagram story. Follow us at everydaycarry, or you can send us an email at podcast@everydaycarry.com, and we'll get that on the show. So let's jump into user submitted pocket dump, shall we?
Let's do it.
Here is a very cool pocket dump. This is from Philip Tremp, and they say they're a chef for more than 30 years, always work with a knife, but always carry an SAK. And they said, I wanted an EDC I could use, but could look good too. Same. Good thing my brass mini comb helps my handlebar mustache look as good as my EDC. Wish they attached a photo of that because I'm sure it's magnificent.
Shout outs to people who can actually grow mustaches that you can comb.
I shaved mine the other day. I just don't want to right now. So in this EDC, we have a Kimagi Hank in black and brown, a Metal Comb Works, the Popper compact pocket comb in brass, the antique bifold leather wallet, Kavico Sport ball pen in brass with nostalgic clip, Raylight pineapple mini flashlight in brass, and then, this is my favorite, the Victorinox Super Tinker, but with daily customs honeycomb scales in brass.
Ooh, this actually looks kind of titanium to me rather than brass.
I think it's just the white balance.
Yeah.
So they did say looking for a small, closable, easily opening carabiner in brass to attach my keys on my belt loop.
You're gonna be looking at fishhook shackles.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't know of many brass like working carabiners in that way. They're usually some kind of hook, just a fixed.
It's gonna be the shackle type thing. Yeah.
I was gonna say, so I really like this brand recently. They're a jewelry brand, Good Art Hollywood. But the very first thing that they sent me like 10 years ago was this thing called the Belt Loop Buddy, and it's a solid piece of brass that has like this cool. You have to like do this cool movement to get it onto your belt loop, but it's two loops basically.
That just reminded me. What about that Grove made brass hook you've had forever? Not technically a carabiner, but
they don't make it anymore.
Ah, dang.
Like everybody asked me where I got that keychain, and I'm just like, it's discontinued. So now I'm not gonna even mention it.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's like this. Yeah, sorry, you can't get that. But the Belt Loop Buddy from Good Art Hollywood, it's not a carabiner, and it's not that small or closable, but it is brass, and I think it's beautiful, and it's a fun like little EDC gear, and that will definitely patina well. And it's made in Los Angeles. An original design. I think it's really cool.
I've got one.
You might like that.
I've got one.
Okay.
Craig Hill Carabiner, the Coach Whip, I believe is the name of it. And it comes in brass. It's a double gated carabiner. And it comes in brass. And it's a modern one with a gate.
Okay. But it's not full brass, is it?
Well, the gate looks like it's possibly stainless steel or aluminum.
I don't think it's made of brass. It's a stainless steel body that's just like PVD'd brass, no?
Is it?
Sorry, let me pull this up on screen so that I can show people what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is like physical vapor deposition.
Dang, so close.
Yeah, see? Brass coated stainless steel. This is stainless steel. Yeah, see, I don't think that there are full brass articulating carabiners. I feel like it's just not the right material for that for some reason. I'm not like an engineer or machinist or anything, but am I an engineer? No. I'm not. Technically, no. Not with my degree, but yes.
But why do you think so? Is it because it's a heavy but soft material? It's not good for load bearing? Is it lesser? Does it have lesser strength than stainless steel? I don't know. We're not engineers.
I'm guessing that the articulation of it, like that, like brass on brass, is not good for that, like for moving parts.
Yeah, but the closest I think you're gonna get there are a few carabiners or keyring type things from Craig Hill, and they're the first that comes to mind when it comes to brass accessories.
I might as well show this thing that I'm talking about.
I see.
It is kind of fire. Like it looks sick.
Yeah.
However, it is definitely like luxury EDC. It's $185.
Dang
but
it!
It's made by hand in Los Angeles.
Dang it.
So yeah. And when I tested mine, they sent it to me for free, and then I gave it away in a giveaway with like a brass and leather gear thing. So that was a long time ago. But yeah, so that is an option.
Yeah.
Or not, depending on
okay
your situation.
I have another answer. James Brand
Okay.
Melville. I think this is true.
That solid?
I think this is solid brass.
They don't even sell it anymore.
Oh no, gosh dang it.
So not an option. Okay. Well, we tried.
We tried.
Okay, let's actually appreciate the rest of the gear here though. But I think these are all super solid picks, especially this little Trinity here, the right slice light Trinity. I think these are classics, and the Kafiko Sport and Brass, super cool, super sturdy EDC pen, very pocketable.
We're getting a lot of these mini pineapple from Raylight, and for good reason. It's one of the best, really compact flashlights you can carry. Really, really great for EDC. So not surprised that it's coming out so much in our submissions.
Yeah. And then the Super Tinker is just, in terms of tool set, my favorite.
Classic.
I really like that. I think it's the one with, it has both scissors and a 3D Phillips driver in the back.
And shout out to the suspension clip as well. Classic way of carrying.
Yeah, so easy retrieval. Yep, that's, this is somebody who's been carrying this for a while when they invest in one of those. And then just a classic combination of materials here. The already patinaed leather. You got denim, which also patinas and fades. Chambray maybe with this hank, and then you have brass, and you could tell this stuff is used. This is patina, it's scratched up,
and I
know people love that.
And I love the introduction of patterns into the denim, into the scales,
true.
Into the flashlight. So just a bit of extra flair, so that not everything is just smooth and stone washed brass and stuff. Yeah, very cool.
So thank you so much, Philippe. Very cool. Hopefully you can find that carabiner you're looking for.
Yeah, we tried.
I'm gonna ask Ridge and see if we can do that. So that's an option. Maybe just stay tuned for that, and then I'll tease that in the pocket check for like the next month or two or whatever when that finally happens. So
yes, check back in 10 episodes here.
Yeah, let's jump into another one. So this next submission is from Carlos, an aviation mechanic. They're saying, just having a simple loadout. I carry them by pair, one light, one multi-tool, etc. And we have here the Leatherman Free K2, the Makerlite E052 titanium, Sofern SP10V3, and then the Leatherman Free P2.
So, I think we have a writer, Jonathan Tayag, who loves the K series. It's a very underrated primary knife that is based on the magnetic free system, and I think it's nice. I always like seeing them in the wild, and clearly that this is a very used set of tools.
Oh yeah, this is really used.
really used. So yeah, it's nice seeing.
Like I wanted to clean my screen. I was like, damn, yeah.
And I think these are both double A lights. This Manker EO5 too. I had one of these as well, and during the lockdown, it was one of the more popular double A lights. I think I mentioned in a previous episode that double A lights are actually pretty rare for the really good ones. And this was one of the ones that came out around 2020, 2021 that was in pure titanium and had a decent emitter, and it was double A. So that's a nice. I still like seeing that in the wild. And Sofern, really good brand. If you're looking for very inexpensive but fully featured flashlights, there's endless. Every time we have Prime Day, we have like 3 dozen Sofern lights on sale across the board, across every type of battery. So yeah, if you need a flashlight, you can probably find something very inexpensive from Sofern, and Convoy and that tier of flashlights. But yeah, good combo. Multi-tool knife, multi-tool plus flashlight. Your base is pretty covered. We love the Free series as a whole. Magnets are cool. Titanium's cool.
Yeah. So if you had to pick and make your own duo here, what items would you pick and why?
Oh, I'm gonna go with the K series because I haven't carried one of those, and I'm gonna go with the Manker just for the silver theme. I think.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with 2 flashlights. No, I'm just kidding. I would probably go with the Manker TI and the Free P2. The Free P2 is like, I used it. No,
I know.
Just now? No, I used the Arc just now. But I do like the style of Leatherman, just the slimmer of the full size options.
Because you're only really losing the saw. That's the main thing you're losing. Yeah, for one more layer.
Yeah, and I don't know that I would love this type of deployment and lock for a primary blade. I know that it works fine and it's great and it's already better than what I would get on a P2, for example. But I think psychologically, when I think of primary knife, I want it to be like flicky and thin and all this other stuff. So this
not
is probably
half
just
of
not what I'm looking for.
Not half of a Leatherman.
Yeah. And then I'm just a sucker for titanium. And I like this barrel design better because I tend to cigar grip. I just like that. Yeah, it will fit better here. I don't really need all this knurling because I don't ice pick grip in that way. So cool. Thank you, Carlos.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
That's a fun exercise.
The well-worn stuff because we love that. People love that. Seeing that.
Yeah. And one last comment from Carlos who said, "Longtime fan of Everyday Carry! !" Thank you so much. Really means a lot. And thank you for the submission. Hopefully you send some more soon. So last submission that we have for today. This is from Clifford the Red Chevy on our subreddit. On our subreddit r/everydaycarry, the full title spelled out. And let's take a closer look here. So we have a Benchmade bug out, the Rovivon Aurora A1, the Travelers Company brass ballpoint pen, so not the pencil this time, and then a Shinola Runwell.
Is it Shinola or not Shinola?
Shinola. Yeah,
absolutely sure.
Shinola. I'm like 99% sure.
Okay.
But the
I've
fact
always
that you
called it
asked
Shinola.
Me, okay, no. Shinola that sounds like Japanese. Or
I know,
something.
That's right. Exactly.
It's from Detroit. It's Shinola. Yeah. So another like kind of heritage looking sort of carry.
Okay, one thing I want to talk about here. Do you put your stuff in a valet tray?
Oh yeah. I do.
Do you have a valet tray in your bedroom or at the entrance to your place, in your desk? All three?
And at the sink, yes. Nice. Just anywhere that I need to put down a watch or a ring or a necklace or a knife or whatever. I just have little places to put them.
I have a display case which is full, and I just dump my stuff anywhere. I think
the real the real EDCer method is you just keep everything in your jeans when you take your jeans off, and you just put your jeans back on, and you're already loaded up. You don't need to get ready if you stay ready, right?
That's right. And you have multiple jeans with multiple setups, so no matter what's in the laundry, you're always prepared. That's right.
I feel bad for the people who have both the jeans hobby and the EDC hobby together. They probably also have the boots hobby, and they just have this like really expensive collection.
Just look for that strip of torn jeans right by the pocket where the clip would be. That's that strip of ultra worn, exactly where the pocket clip rides. Yeah. But we don't often see valet trays. They kind of come in and out of EDC favor as a display method and also as a container method. And that's why I was wondering, do you have like a specific valet tray that you use?
I don't know if I would even call this a valet tray. Because to me this looks like
a drawer that got pulled out.
A drawer that got pulled out, yeah. Because this does not look like it's protecting from scratches. Right. So
it is actually a drawer, it looks like. Because there's a handle at the bottom, you're right. You're absolutely right. Sorry to call you out. Sorry, who was the submitter again? No, I'm sorry to call you out.
Yeah. This was from Clifford the Red Chevy.
Look, to be fair, it could be the drawer to his side table, and that's where stuff naturally goes. So, not calling you out. That's just pointing it out, not calling you out.
Yeah. Do you have any favorites in here?
I love seeing the Rovivons again. When were we talking about the Rovivon? Oh yeah, we were talking about it in a meeting, right? That where did the Rovivon keychains go? Because they were the pioneers of that form factor. And
I think they're still there. It's just they don't need to make new ones all the time. I think the last one that I saw was the marble micro arc oxidation finish one. Yeah, the MAO ones, which I think are cool. But for Clifford here, that's their name, right? Clifford, yes. I think maybe the brass or not brass. Do they have a brass one? It's like brass or copper. One of those I think would probably fit well into this carry. But I can see that this is kind of maybe matching the bug out scales.
You know what? This just triggered me. That bug out just reminded me of the colors of that Navy SEAL watch earlier, the blue and the kind of bronze accents.
Yeah.
So pair that watch with this knife, perfection. Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if that would work for this carry. I think the Shinola on the leather strap and this kind of like old timey field watch sort of, or like not a field watch, maybe Flieger type aesthetic with this crown, especially
Pilot B type watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This dial I'm very interested in because it looks almost the same as this drawer.
It's like a mother of pearl type pattern.
Yeah, some kind of like stone or like quartz or something. I'm curious what that is. But yeah.
Not much to say.
Some American made stuff, some not.
Good heritage stuff.
I think it works.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this in the ballpoint form though. This particular
bullet pen,
brass,
bullet pencil, quote unquote.
Yeah, usually it's a pencil. So I was like, oh, where's the eraser? It's a lanyard point. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Great stuff.
Yeah. Thank you so much again, Clifford the Red Chevy, for submitting that. And I think that just about wraps it up for today's episode. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Hit that subscribe, share with a friend, follow us on socials. If you want to be a part of our EDC community, feel free to hop into our Facebook group or Discord server for more real-time discussion with other EDCers. And lastly, if you have any feedback for us or questions you want answered on the show, you can shoot us an email at podcast@everydaycarry.com. So thank you so much for listening to Carry the Way. I'm Bernard.
I'm Mikey. And what was the last thing you buy-harded for?
Or bought hard.
Bought hard.
Let us know. Okay.
See you then.
Peace.
Peace.